Salute. This is Crown Talk. Ladies and gentlemen, introduce the team. We got Houston.
What's going on?
What's good with you? We got E. What's good with you?
What's up? What's up, party people?
We got unapologetic gentlemen.
Manhood,
my boy, brother.
no doubt. What's going on, peoples?
What's good with you? Here we got 7 in the building. So don't talk about welcome kings. What's good with you?
What's happening? What's happening?
Oh, it's good, man. Yourself, man. Just glad to be alive, brother.
Same
Yes,
here,
indeed.
brother. Surviving.
Most definitely.
How's everybody doing though? Everybody weekend going good, week going good, work week, making that money.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So far, so good.
Things move.
Every day.
Man, I got to find that new I just hit 50, so I got to find that 50 Ben Gay out there somewhere.
You got it too, man.
That 50-year-old Ben Gay.
Man, my knees,
Hey,
bro. I need
it's all good right now. When you get to be about 53, I'm like, man, I slowed down in the last 2 years. I'm like,
Yeah. I'm about to go to Walmart and get me some new knees, man. Got them in the automotive section. All right.
Now, Ashley, I went to the basketball court.
Yeah.
Actually, I went to the basketball court yesterday, and I told them I want to check the fastest guy. They said, check that guy right there. Man, I shut him down like it went crazy.
Nice.
come on now.
He felt embarrassed, but I still
Get shut down by a 50-year-old.
It just.
You're gonna have to be gentle.
Yeah, he got shut down. He was embarrassed.
Yeah.
Now he won when he went home because his knee wasn't hurting. My knee was hurting.
All right.
That's all good.
The video. You know what I mean? All right, let's see what we got. So today's topic is about the ego. Male ego. What y'all think about that, man?
I mean, it's some truth to it. Definitely.
What
We're just talking about male ego.
Oh, it's about the ego, like all types of things about the ego. How we need to
I got you.
male ego, how we need to check it, how not to check it, all that stuff. You know, just be aware of the things we do. You know, when we make those mistakes or put our pride and our ego ahead of the right decisions and stuff like that. You know, just to put it in your head. You know what I mean? I think my whole thing is, even if someone's barely listening, the words will go into your head. You're listening anyway. Your body and your mind are listening anyway. So if we talk about it, maybe it'll pop up in a situation and we'll be aware of it. You know, we'll check our egos at the door and stuff. I know I need to check mine. I got a big ego.
So where do you think that ego started from?
What's up, K Boogie and Nathaniel? What's up, Nathaniel? K Boogie?
Ego, you know what it
Yes,
is?
yes.
It actually started from in my life. My ego started from being recognized of my talents. You know what I mean? That's where it started from. And you know how people get recognized. Keep, you're doing your thing. You're good at it. All of a sudden, your ego starts getting bigger. So you stop listening to certain things in life. But due to me being raised by my mother, she was always the one to check that ego. You know what I'm saying? Because I was a cocky motherfucker, and when I showed it, right in your shit. You know what I'm saying? So I learned early how to humble that extra boost of ego. You know what I mean? To kind of ruin some of my decisions. So that's where it started from, being recognized in my talents. And just letting it go overboard was when, I let it go ahead of me. What about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I asked you that question is because most of the time our ego starts when we're young.
Yeah, very young.
Sometimes it's talent, but sometimes we get an ego either when somebody says something to us and then we finally understand how to get them back.
Mm-hmm.
And then our ego kind of kicks in as far as, realizing that you can do a certain thing or act a certain way and you're able to get what you want out of it. So we kind of, like you said, we learn to get that ego young. And I see a lot of kids, like you said, I see a lot of people that, like you said, in sports, these kids that can play ball or they can throw or they're a good running back at age 6, 7, and 8, and they get treated a special way all the way through high school. That ego is there.
Right.
And it's hard to let that go and realize that if you didn't have that much of an ego, you could have played somewhere at a professional level if you could listen instead of letting that ego, stand in the way.
Right.
I got you.
Y'all some noisy motherfuckers today, huh?
I see it.
What about you, E? What about you? When did your ego begin?
My ego, I can't say I have an ego now. I think mine comes from just being overly confident. And ego can be positive or it can be negative. So there's positivity behind ego, and that's having the confidence, that self-esteem and knowing that you can get things done and knowing that you know exactly what you're talking about. But a lot of time it can get in the way when you are overly confident and you don't allow other people to speak, or you think your idea is the only best idea. So that's when it can get to the point where it's now become negative because you have judgment about somebody before they even open their mouth because you think your way is the only way. So, but I think mine came initially when I was confident in my work. I did 29 years in the same job in the military, so nobody couldn't tell me what to do pretty much. I knew my job and I knew it well. So I was overconfident, but at the same time, I needed to listen at times. And I think I went away from that, hear people's story, and my story don't necessarily have to be told. Just hear them.
Right. What about you? I'm going to 7.
The current weather is 69 degrees.
I don't have an ego, so I'm just listening to y'all share y'all story.
See, that's the ego right there.
Yeah.
That's ego right there.
I'm gonna say something like that, man. So no ego whatsoever.
No ego whatsoever. I'm humble.
Did you have an ego when you were younger though?
Yeah. I'm one of 8 billion. So yeah.
8 billion? 1 in a million. That's my jam too. Lou Rawls, I do it. Karaoke. Hire me. So you said when you were young, you say no when you were younger, or yeah?
No, I think I was just wild as a kid. I just came out of the womb wild. So I was very extroverted and I just did shit that didn't make sense. You know what I mean? So
you think extroverts have a big ego?
I can't answer that question because naturally you live in a world where people expect you to fit in a certain box. But I mean, I'm more introvert now than I've ever been. Don't get me wrong, but growing up, man, just how you move. I think I think I've been humbled enough over the last, you know what I mean, from 20 to like 27. I was humbled a lot and learned about my ego, you know, how to put my ego in check. But, you know, for the most part, you know, I deal with it no matter what, you know what I mean? You just learn when it's there and move on.
You know, I was reading about ego, and it was saying that some egos started for a lot of people because they was isolated. They were isolated from the outside world, pretty much, and so the only way that they knew is the way that they was taught. And then when they get out on the meeting with other people, now they see that no, that's not right. That's not right the way y'all doing it. You're supposed to do it this way. And so I think sometimes isolation can be a negative side as far as ego. I think being an extrovert is kind of like just being, you know, out there, not necessarily being cocky or anything. You just like being around people and showing your energy and things of that nature. But yeah.
Well, it says here, the definition of ego is a person with a sense of self-esteem or self-importance.
Self-esteem.
Self-esteem. Yeah. I'm probably more on the self-importance side growing up, especially when I start, you know, getting recruits coming out of
business minded.
Yeah. Like junior year, thought my ego was bigger than what it was, and you know, with certain relationships that I had, you know, no matter if it was like a actual relationship or, you know, friendship and things of that nature. Yeah, absolutely, growing up with ego, especially when you're not growing up with both parents. Both parents that's knowledgeable. You know, if you got one parent that's knowledgeable, she could be knowledgeable just by women and how their egos are, and you probably follow that woman trait. But and then the other side, you know, my uncle, especially when I went to the South every summer, go to the South, getting their traits of their ego and, you know, trying to see what's a man ego. So yeah, you know the self-esteem, you know, I think I'm more of that with the ego, because still to this day, I feel like I don't care for people, certain people around me. Maybe I think I'm better than them, or just maybe I know something's going to occur. So my ego tells me, no, you know, go this way and, you know, get away from that situation. So ego is a good thing to me. Some people be trying to make ego a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. You know, it's a human trait. You know,
but is that ego or wisdom?
I guess, but it says self-importance. Well, I think I'm important enough not to be around stuff that's not my thing anymore.
All right, so since you said that, look at this right here, because this was also in the definition of ego. We have the part of the mind that mediates between the conscious and the unconscious and is responsible for reality testing and a sense of personal identity. What do y'all think about that?
It's a mouthful.
Yeah.
I will have to try to break that down, because it's saying a whole lot here. You know, it's saying a whole lot. I mean, I definitely see where it's going. But you know what? Ego is, to me, it can have a lot of different interpretations. Because
it is a lot of different interpretation.
Yeah, because one man's ego, I'm like, okay, he got a big ego. But he may consider, without a shadow of a doubt, it's his confidence. You know, so when does it go over the line?
I think it's a lot of time is getting to know a person. And when you get to know a person, you would say, oh, that person is being genuine, versus, oh, this person think he's all that. That may be just him, and he may not know that he's coming off that way because that's how he's been all his life. But How do y'all feel about a female that says that you said, "Oh, you look really nice." Oh, I know that. You ain't got to tell me that. Have you ever talked to someone or met a female that said, "Hey, I know I'm beautiful. You ain't got to tell me I'm beautiful."
Hell
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I actually like that. You know what I mean? I actually like the confidence.
Do you think that's an ego? Do you think that's an ego or that's confident? You think that's a negative or positive side of it?
I think that's a fake ego, if you ask me.
I don't know.
I think it's like self-esteem.
I do it myself. They're like, "Oh, you handsome." I'm like, "I know." You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just the confidence like that. It's confidence. You know what I mean?
See what I'm saying about how it's interpreted?
So
one man think it's an ego, the other person think it's confident.
Okay, let's hear why you say it's an ego problem.
This is why I put up that definition right there. The part of the mind that mediates between, because the ego is like the decision maker, right? I know I have this confidence, but if I let it go too far, it might go, you know what I mean? It might go left field. So the ego is a mediator. No, you don't think so?
I know too many young women that be, anyway. Too many women that say what you just said. No, not you.
No, it's all good. It's
not
all
you,
good.
but say what you just said about.
No, we're gonna get on Jim. No, we're gonna get on Jim. No, we're gonna get on him. Go ahead, because I'm there.
Yeah, I hear you. But and then you get to know them, and then you be like, man, this girl don't got no ego like you think she has. She's she's not even entitled. She has the lowest self-esteem that I ever met. Most of them be like that. They'll be like, yeah, I know I look good. And then they always asking you questions. When you get to know them and things, stuff like that. And like, sometimes in my situation, that what I saw in my life, most of them been low self-esteem women or men that say they look that good. And then they be always, checking in the mirror and stuff like that, putting Facebook pictures up. I was that guy. I know I look good. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not
tell the difference, bro. You can tell. You can tell. I don't want to go too much on the female part of it, but you can tell when, when they know they look good and when they don't look good, and when they're trying to make up for it. You know what I mean? I don't even think it's not for them. It's not even the ego. It's just like it's trying to mask what right? Just it's trying to boost your own confidence up. Be aware of yourself sometimes. You know what I mean? But there's some people out there who are confident in themselves. But I think for the men, I don't know about naturally, but I was born naturally with an ego and confidence. A lot of times I just took it way too far.
I think when people, going back to what Jimmy was saying about, he know he looked good, whatever case may be. I think that's where most people perceive that as being negative or being positive. When someone gives you a compliment, the positive ego would be like, I appreciate that. Thank you. The negative side that is perceived is, I know I look good. You ain't got to tell me that. So that's when it comes in the perception of the person who you're talking to or that is responding or whatever case may be, that determines whether or not it's negative or positive. Again, to you, it may be just confidence. And you probably didn't, and people probably don't mean any harm by it. But a lot of time, I guess ego is the perception that is received.
Mm-hmm. I get that. Some people put it on themselves too, but I definitely get that, because if you playing a sport and the guy know he's good, he can be confident in that. But every time they get out there and it's only 5 seconds left, and he's like, "Yo, get me the ball. I got this. Give me the ball. Don't even worry about it." Is that confidence or is that ego?
I would say that's ego.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I was saying right there. That right there is the mediator.
That's that mediator, right? That's that mediator.
The ego is the mediator.
Because to me, someone that's confident and knows what they're doing, he may be confident enough to be like, yeah, if I get the ball, if y'all want to give it to me, I'm going to try to do what I can with it. But I'm smart enough to know that they don't realize Jimmy over here got a jump shot because he's only hit like 10 points tonight, but he's money when he do it. So they're not going to be looking for Jimmy. To me, that's smart. Not being my ego that I want to be the one hit the winning shot. So that's that balance. Sometimes that ego can be too much, but ego, like you said earlier, somebody mentioned earlier, it's a good thing. It can be a good thing as long as you don't take it too far. If you don't take it too far.
He said, "Give me the."
I think all of us have an ego.
Now, me. Now, for myself, I was that guy that says, "Give me the ball." And the only reason why I say give me the ball because I know how to get it down court and find the right people. A lot of people, they get the ball, they dribble down court and they get it taken away from them. I said, get me the ball, but look to be open, look to receive the no-look pass and things of that nature. So that was my confidence, is having confidence that I'm gonna allow you to be in on the winning shot. Whether or not it's you setting the pit, whether or not it's you setting the pit and driving to the basket, I dish it to you. So I think that's the confidence side. But that's like you said, somebody that goes down, give me the ball, and you don't see nobody, then you don't tune everybody out and think that you're the only one that can hit the winning shot.
Right. Yeah, that's when the ego kicks in. They got 3 people on you, but you're still gonna figure out how to take the shot. I got
you. Yeah, but also ego can be dangerous as well, especially in our community. Like ego could be a situation where, like what happened. People ain't talking about this a lot. What happened down in Texas, and that with Talib Akib, the dude that played football. He used to play for the Denver Broncos. Akib Talib, one of them names. Akib Talib.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, the ego went so overboard, and it was an ego-driven thing. They fighting, they mad, they losing. It's a 9U football game. Talib Akib, whatever his name is, his brother killed the coach. Shot him right on the football field in front of all the kids on the football field because they arguing about a game it was a scrimmage as well.
Right.
And mainstream media obviously ain't talking about it, but this is a big story because what I'm hearing from the dude that actually got killed, he's like he was a pillar to that community. He got shot. Yeah. He got shot dead in front of all those kids and his 9-year-old son. So ego can be a good thing, and it can be a thing that's going to ruin everybody's lives as well.
True.
And it did that many of times in our community.
So what?
That right now as we speak.
What part was it? What part of his ego? What was responsible for it?
Arguing with the refs, saying that a certain for what they were saying, because I was watching.
So not the guy that got killed had the ego. The guy that pulled the trigger.
Yeah, that's what I was.
The guy that pulled the trigger had an ego. Everybody else fighting in front of kids because of a game, that's an ego to me as well. Fighting in front of kids, getting into it in a game, that's an ego as well. Dude protecting himself, the one that got killed, protecting himself of like 10 to 15 people coming at him, just hitting somebody with something so they won't come at him, and then somebody pulling out a gun and shooting the guy 5 times, even while he was on the ground because he actually tripped up. That's a super ego. So yeah, that's a super ego.
Now,
having a
going to K Boogie comment, she said there's mad videos on that. We have to do better. And I saw a Facebook today, and it really resonates with, is it that serious? And that's what it goes to. When we go to a game or when we go to whatever event where there's sports and you got referee, coaches, whatever case may be, we have to understand that referee is going to make bad calls. Coaches is going to make bad decisions. Players going to make bad decisions. The thing is we get so uptight with we want our kid to win and this and that, and we want everything to go their way instead of just appreciating them when they score or when they pass the ball, throw a good pass and say, good pass, son. We take it too far, take it too serious, as if the NBA is looking at you right now. So if you don't call something good for my child, he ain't gonna make the NBA or the NFL or whatever case it may be. So I think we have to, as parents, as people, is to say, is it that serious? And a lot of that has to do with ego.
I'm gonna
my child is the greatest out of everybody. My child is this. No, my child need to be in the game. No, my child. It's that ego, and it starts with the parent and bleed into the children. Go ahead, brother.
But we rear our parents. I'm 51. I was raised by a mom who
happy birthday, man.
Almost every week had to rein me in, try to domesticate me, knock the shit out of me to conform. But I say that to say it because it was going against my natural being. But also, I have friends whose parents raised them to be that type of person. If somebody says something, say it back. Don't be the first one to hit, but make sure you're the one that ends it. And even other friends who's like, yo, you in these streets, you think your life is in danger? Shoot. So I think there's a difference between the ego and the programming and the permissive behavior that we've created in our community. Because I don't think that's ego at all. I think that's what we've read on some videos, title on an album or something, or listen to a song, and we told other young men to act and participate with that. Because if you look at it, even in a shooting, most of the times a person is shooting is scared. That person's only doing what he was taught or what he thinks to do. Like his ego is probably saying, this looks good, but I'm pretty sure common sense is like, you about to fuck up your rest of your whole life.
The mediator.
Yeah.
And that's what
the conscious and the unconscious.
And that's what should have happened. It should have been, we're talking about 30 plus, 40 plus men. We're not talking about 20 plus men. We're not talking about, teenagers.
Right. It
should have been a mediator. I feel like some of these people aren't scared. Most of them, in my opinion, it's a lot of cowardness. You already got 15 people that's actually running after that particular guy. Why do you need to pull out a gun again? Like, you already got it. You already have it. Why do you need to pull out a gun? The reason for it, I believe 1000%, it's a lot of self-hate in our community, without a doubt. And that ego is transparent with self-hate, in my opinion.
But isn't that a function of programming within our community?
Oh, big time programming.
So, because I get what you're saying. I don't know how I'm alive, but I walked around with a gun. You know what I mean? But I think I had enough common sense after a couple of altercations to say, me having this gun on me and I'm in these streets selling this dope, gang banging, me being on these streets with this gun is not a good thing. But I also saw situations where, and I see situations currently where you don't have that. That's just this facade in our streets where we think we own the property or the corner.
Yep.
And I don't know how we do that, but we resort to violence. So is violence a side effect of ego, or is violence something that is taught from childhood that we see on television, music, in our community, in our homes, the lack of fathers in the home, and the narrative what we see all together? So is that the perfect package for ego? Or is that,
yeah. Yep, all that transparency.
I think if you build up an ego, in that situation, you would have to build up that type of ego, then it's okay to do so. I don't think that's your ego. If you were taught to be violent and this and that your ego doesn't have anything to do with it until you show that action of it's okay to keep being violent. You know what I'm saying? You have an ego like, well, I can be violent anytime I fucking feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Knowing it's wrong and you continuously doing the same thing. That's ego driven. I don't think that's your ego.
Stephen Heck put a comment up there. I like what he said. He said we all have an ego. You just can't let it consume your character.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
And I
agree.
And I think when you let it consume your character, it's like now it becomes confrontational. Right. And when it gets confrontational, it leads to doing things outside of you just having confidence. And then now it becomes get out of my face. You get out of my face. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? So I think it can be driven to that point once it consumes your character.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So good comment, Steve.
And then the situation with football season, as people know, this is our first full week of practice at high school, and then the peewees will come in. I see a lot of young fathers out there, right, with their girlfriends, whatever. Jim, you know how the environment is in this area. I see a lot of these guys, these ego-driven guys, when you try to say what's up to them, and it's us, our people, they looking at you like hard. They looking at you like, is he trying to, scope something out? My little girl, whatever, my baby mama, instead of saying what's going on, how you doing, they just looking at you hard. They see that you're a coach. You got a whistle, you got the hat, and you got on the t-shirt. You're not, you know what I mean? You ain't trying to holler at nobody. Yeah. I'm looking at the parent, I'm looking at the kids, like, okay, that kid look good. Hopefully we have them in high school soon. But these cats, they got so much ego, and I feel like, was I like that in my early 20s? No, I wasn't like that. I did not look at somebody like I want to fight them. I didn't. I wasn't never like that.
Is that ego or violence? Is that ego or they have a sense of?
I think it's an ego thing. I think it could be either or. But I think it's an ego thing.
Mixed up. I think we're getting ego mixed up a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I'm thinking about it, because this is all right. This is, like I said, this is in the dictionary, right? I keep thinking about it every time we talk about it. Like it seems like it's going off track of what ego is.
Well, it's a lot of different meanings.
I think, but I think ego is like, it has to be built.
A sense of
what entitlement.
That's what that kid. That's what the fathers show, a sense of personal identity. They don't know men are supposed to respect like when they see each other, they're supposed to acknowledge each other because it's a sense of personal identity. Most of them probably was raised in a matriarchy household or raised by another Pookie. And it's one of them things is that they don't see that. Yes, that's a sense of personal identity. Like, so that's in the definition of ego. Because any man...
Ego is being self-critical. It's being self-critical. When you start criticizing before you actually understand, then actually that's a sense of, no, my way is the right way. That's narrow-minded. And it says it's reflecting social standards that's learned. Those are standards that's learned from either your parents or whoever you are being around, the gang environment, your community, that, hey, this is how we grew up. And this is like people that I was in a classroom and I said, hey, can you refrain from cursing so much? Well, this is just who I am. This is just how my culture is. This is just how we are. So I had to understand that person on how they grew up. Instead of criticizing them, I had to understand how they grew up. And I was able to talk with them, and they was able to say, oh man, he listened to me. So let me calm down a little bit. I don't have to really get like that in this environment, because they're no longer in that environment. They have changed their environment, and they didn't realize that, oh man, I am a little bit harsh in this area and so controlling and so critical. And I really don't have to be that way. I can just allow other people to comment and things of that nature.
That's when isn't that when you check your ego, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you check your ego, right?
Yeah.
So again,
You don't have to be right all the time. You don't have to be right all the time.
It's humbling yourself. But again, an ego. I still go off of this definition. It has to be. It's definitely a mediator of going left or going right with your attitude.
Yeah, right. Which determines positive. Which determines positive or negative.
Right.
That's
So it's
like
you either one way or the other way.
Yep. Absolutely.
I think that's where the ego. I really think that's where the ego jumps in. Hold on 1 second, fellas. All right, that's gonna happen once in a while. Hit that like button. Go to the channel, subscribe, hit that like button, share, follow, all that. Hit that notification button too. All right, so we basically. So do we all agree that ego is pretty much like an entitlement or the mediator between your decision of going right or left? Or someone else has something?
I think it's entitlement.
Yeah. I can deal with entitlement.
That's what I think. I think ego takes the place of false confidence that you are lacking. I agree. Yeah.
It's situations where I thought I was entitled several times, even not so recently, but recent enough. You know what I'm saying? Recent enough. It's situations where, but I gotta hold my ego because I'm around kids. You know what I'm saying? They say the craziest things, and they make you want to say, "Listen, you mother," but you got to say to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got to say to yourself, yo, chill. And then they ask yourself, Coach, I bet you wasn't getting no. They ask me silly questions like, Coach, I bet you wasn't getting no girls like me. I was like, boy, mind your business. You know what I'm saying? I can be that guy that can be like telling my business, but it's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, or your ego could kick in until my ask your mama.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Never said it right now. I bet you won't get no girl ask your mama. And that ego would have made you say that and be like, okay, now you don't open a can of worms. Now he mad. Now he ready to start showing out. So sometimes our ego can cause more to happen.
Exactly.
All right, I want to show you guys a clip. Okay. Which I think will get your minds flowing real quick. Let's go do this here.
This is warped view that it can only be one. But why? Why can't we ever surpass or overcome the financial hurdles that present themselves and stay connected? Why can't we do that?
It's called ego. Ego.
That's why you remove it.
Easier said than done in some circumstances.
It's actually not.
In some instances.
But when people say that, right? When they say it's easier said than done, and the ego is very present and dominant, right? You gotta ask yourself why. Why does it matter? Why does it matter? Me and Dwayne Johnson are good friends. You know why our shit works? TJ, I don't give a fuck about titles. I don't give a fuck about number one or number two. TJ, I don't care what that thing is. Like, what? Dude, I love working with you. You're my guy. I love you, champ. Love you too, Kev. You want to do this thing? Let's make it work. Kev, my company's producing it. You want dope? I hope you guys knock it out the park. Let me see the materials. If I can help, I can. DJ, I got something that's coming from my company. Hey, do you want me to include you? Do you guys want to co-produce? How do you want to do it? Kev, we'll work it out. We'll figure it out. Oh, can you sit down with me, man? I got a show. I want to talk to you. Yeah. Hey, man, I got this thing, guys, I'm doing. Chris, me and you should go. What do you think about doing New York together? Fuck it, we can co-headline it. Let's split the shit down the middle. I don't care. Fuck it, Kev. Yeah, let's do it. You think Dave will come to one of the shows? Let's ask him. Dave, what you want to do? Oh my God, guys, it's great. There's no egos. With real success and real fucking moves, the real ones.
Right.
The real ones, there's no egos. Because collabs are collabs that don't question where I stand and what I am.
Right.
There's nothing about the next person that's going to affect or rock my world. I know I'm Kevin Hart. I don't need you to fucking validate it.
Right.
I don't need that. I have no ego.
Yeah.
None. I got a fucking tequila. I'm not competing with Dwayne.
Yeah.
It's not me versus him. You bring his bottle out here, I'll be the first to hold it up. I'll be the first to support my guy while I have mine. Because there is no ego. People don't understand that there's so much room for us all. But there's this warped view that there isn't.
That's good. That's good.
No doubt.
What y'all think about that?
That's good. He spoke
Well,
the truth.
You guys will go.
And
I'll go last.
Okay. I'll say this. When I was listening to that, and I saw that earlier this week, and the first thing that one of the things I thought about was this: we in our community still have not figured that out. That we don't have to have someone that's ahead of something, because you can't do it by yourself. But we still want to be. Well, I'm the CEO of so and so and so, and everybody else working for you. You know, that's how we kind of want to see it. But instead of just looking at it, here's the thing: when you guys watch a movie, here's the thing. I noticed this a long time ago. When you're watching a movie and the title comes in the beginning, and it said produced by, you see 3 or 4 different production companies. Produced by so and so, you know, so and so Creek Productions, so and so Foundation, so and so this. Then the movie starts. All 4 of them came together to make this movie work. But when we do stuff, it's got to say VMG Media and Marketing, period. Just my name on it. Because we can't work with somebody else. But I think a lot of that came from, you know, it may sound a little strange, from our past. Because when you have slaves in the field and people at the house, we were always trying to get in the house. The people in the house trying to keep people in the field from getting in the house. So I think we still kind of do that some now when it comes to business. I want my son.
That's because we don't give.
Great. So what now?
K Boogie had a comment, and I'm gonna comment on it. It said a lot of time men don't want another man telling him what to do.
That's true.
Which
I don't think that's true.
I think it does have some. I think it does have some truth to it. It depends on your community and who you've been around and things of that nature. Generalizing, statistic, whatever case may be. I think it do have some truth, because women is a lot like that too. Who she thinks she is coming in here trying to tell me how to do this and do that, or who in the world this man think he is trying to come over here trying to tell me how to run this show, how to run my team, right. Instead of, hey, I appreciate your advice, sir. I thank you. Thank you very much, but I got this or whatnot. So again, it can have some truth to it, depending on who you've been around, things of that nature.
As Blaze.
What y'all think about what Blaze said?
Hold on, let my man finish, and I was gonna comment on it.
Yeah, real quick, what Blaze said. Yeah, I agree 100%. It's the factors of what we, just like you said, what we groomed into. What Seven said, what we groomed into, understanding and thinking that I'm a machismo, whatever, being the hardest on the block, whatever. Yeah, I agree with that. Anyway, but what K Boogie said, I believe, yeah, that's a young black, that's our issue. But I could see, I know many black boys. We gonna go into the black boy situation. Young black kids situation. They can, go with a white now black coach. What he says more. And they could put it at verbatim. They listen a little bit better. as a black coach, I feel like non-black players listen to me way more than actual black players. And I get that from many black coaches all over the country that I speak with. Many.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so if she's saying it like that, yeah, I agree. But usually men will listen to other men and women will listen to other men. They a woman boss have a lot of problems and a lot of issues because a lot of these women that's under her don't like listening to her. They jealous of her and things of that nature.
Right.
You know, but what Kevin Hart said, a little bit, I feel like he's capping a little bit because he said about the he kept on saying, The Rock, that's his homie. They making good money together. It seemed like they never have a problem with each other. Will you be like that with a Cat Williams that you guys got issues with a little bit? Will you be like that with you got little issues with, but you know you can make money with each other? You know, but I get what he's saying, and I feel what he's saying because if I have issues with you and if I can make money with you at the same time, I'm like, this probably can work, but my ego is going to be in there.
True. Let me ask you a question about that since you brought up the names. Kevin Hart's a very smart man, right? He always involves a lot of different people. Now, you see him. Do you see him having a certain type of ego?
Do I see him having a certain type of ego?
Yeah.
Like the people that he...
Okay, wait. Since you right there. Now,
his circle.
Think about Cat Williams. Does Cat Williams have a certain type of ego?
Yeah, absolutely.
You said that real quick.
Yep.
Cat Williams' ego is totally different from Kevin Hart's. Kevin Hart is more humbling than Cat Williams is. So the weighing factor, I'm over here. I don't want no egos, as Kevin Hart says. I know that Cat Williams has an ego where I want to be better than this one. I want this and this and this. I. That's why he won't work with Cat Williams. So that's what he's saying. Why he said if Cat Williams was that type of person, why can't we all be like, we're both funny. Let's do something. Let's make money together. Basically, what he's saying is the black community or black people or men in general are so ego-driven that we lose sight of there's enough room for all of us. If I don't give a fuck about your title, all right, perfect example. Me and Anthony doing the same thing, right? Me and Hollywood. I'm not saying that, I'm better than him because as a content creator or he's better than me. We're both content creators and we collab. And you see me, I'm sitting there looking at y'all got a voice. Hey, collab. Let's go.
Right.
We're the team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You see new people all the time. Join the team. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's
trying
to say.
But I think ego have more of an issue when you try to compare to somebody who you think you can outdo. Like take Kevin Hart and The Rock for example. Kevin Hart would never body would never be like The Rock. So it's no comparison. So it's like your ego, you don't have a big ego now. But when you come across somebody let's put it this way, everybody has an ego, but a lot of people become self-critical and become more ego on the negative side when they can't control the way they speak. Everything that they think, it has to come out of their mouth, and therefore they're judging somebody or they're criticizing somebody. Oh, she the way she got that table set up, she should be ashamed of herself. She should have did it this way or did it that way. So I think when you try to compare yourself to somebody who you know you probably can do a little bit better, I think your critical side of your ego come out.
Yeah, I get all that. And I like what Kevin said. I said, and that was actually more of a question: is he capping? Because it's like how do we really know that he don't have no problems? But it's good to put out that energy. That's good energy he's putting out there and stuff like that. But let me know, like saying I work with Benzo. I don't give a dog about Cat Williams. I'm just putting this as a example. I work with Cat Williams, but he has. I want to hear him say he has such an ego that I can't work with him. If he said that, I'd be like, all right, yeah, I get that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but if you listen to Kevin Hart a while ago,
when we all see that,
right?
Say it again, Houston.
I said, but there's no need for him to even say that because we all see that. Cat Williams have gone at so many people and comedians, and Steve Harvey, all of them are comedians. If there was a Cat Williams and a Steve Harvey concert coming, I'm gonna be up in there.
Mm-hmm.
But he keep talking about he's so much better than Steve. Steve has nothing on me. See, right there, your ego is causing you not to eat on a bigger plate because you might can get in a movie because of your ego is keeping people from calling you to do a movie, to do certain things. Even though the kids why he wanted an award, Cat Williams, for the Alligator Man, for one little character, one role that he played. If he made an award for that, people will call you on a regular basis to do more movies if it weren't for your ego. Now he would say
he won on Donald Trump's show too.
Proud of who I am.
The Apprentice. I think he won on The Apprentice too.
Did he win on The Apprentice?
I think he
Atlanta.
did.
I gotta look that up. Cat Williams on The Apprentice. I gotta look it up.
Yeah.
I'm at look at that.
Yeah. Hey, but y'all didn't catch what Kevin Hart, he let out a little bit his ego on the negative side while he was talking. I don't know if y'all caught that.
That's what I was waiting to hear. That's what
he said, I'm Kevin Hart.
Wait,
my name is.
But
so that part was his ego coming on the do you think
and the name dropping
ego? What was it? Confidence. Like, hey, I'm
agree. I agree that it's ego. I agree that it's confidence also. I also agree with the nuance that he says he put context to it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like, I'm Kevin Hart. I know who I am. I don't need anybody else to tell me. So why would I? You know what I mean? And you're The Rock. I don't get like it's not.
But that was the point. Why bring up? But
because
why bring up?
He brought it. Yeah. I think he brought it up.
He didn't have to say that.
He didn't have to bring it up.
Oh, fellas.
Wait, you have to bring it up. You got to bring it up so you get context to it, bro.
But that's what I was about to say. You can't take every word.
He's on the camera.
He said Kevin Hart as if. Go ahead, Seven.
He's on the camera. Let's just be fair. Just like we're on the camera. He's on the camera. The attention is on him. And at the time that reel is, I'm pretty sure it coincides with something that's happening between the two of them. So he's name dropping almost organically and naturally. I'm not saying he's doing it to be a jerk or anything, but it came out naturally. He's talking to other black men in that room like we're doing. Right. That's like me saying, Joe, I can go sit at Tom Brady's house and hang out with him. What the fuck does Tom Brady have to do with the conversation and the context of what's happening within the room?
But he didn't fit the context.
And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Wait. Come on, fellas. First of all, let's go back to manpower. Let's start here. We should have confidence and we should have an ego. Our mediator should know when to go right field or left field. That's why I brought it all up.
Agree.
We should always, as men, have confidence, no matter what. We should control our ego. That's what it is. We have one. Human nature has an ego. We have to control it. Now, going to what Kevin Hart says, he's telling you, I know who I am. He's showing you his confidence. I'm so confident and so aware of myself that I can put my ego aside.
Bingo.
We can both rock with each other.
Right.
That's basically what he was saying.
Right.
I know me.
And I understood.
That's how I took it.
But look, I understood. We both are right. I understood the context what he was saying because he was flowing. But then the the little side of the ego that wasn't necessary also came out. Meaning, my name by itself is good enough. I'm Kevin Hart. He really didn't have to say that because he was already flowing good. He was basically saying, "Hey, I don't need to compete against Rock. I don't need to compete against that person. If I walk in the building, they know my name. They know what's up." No, it's just like Donald Trump. Just because you're the president of the United States doesn't mean you're exempt from anything else, from whatever he got going with him, and things of that nature. It's the ego that's built up because his name is Donald Trump. Kevin Hart, he really was on the flow, but did not have to say, "Hey, I'm Kevin Hart." He didn't have to say that.
No, he did. In order to prove that, what I just said,
that's the part that we can never agree on.
But in order to explain what he means, is that it's just like having a group of celebrities that's top-notch celebrities in a building. They're all walking in. I'm Will Smith. I'm this. I'm this, that person. They're all going to walk in that way because their ego is built that way. You know what I'm saying? Their confidence because I do this. I'm good at this. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm in this building with these people situation. You know what I mean? Everybody's walking in there with their ego and confidence because that's what they built up to have, right? Now, if he was to be like, I'm not even going to sit at this table with The Rock because I think I'm this because I'm Kevin Hart. That's your ego going overboard. You know what I'm saying? That's using your ego in a negative way. But if you're like this, I know I'm Kevin Hart. I know he's The Rock. We're going to sit at the table and chop it up because we know we both celebrities. We can do this. You know what I'm saying? We both have confidence to have a confident conversation about all things.
I totally agree with what you're saying. And I see both sides. That's that balance. Because to me, the way I took it was, look, in a sense, if I just had an ego as Kevin Hart,
you're right.
I know I can go sell out a stadium and I can go do movies and make my own money. But
right,
but
it's not by in the name. Is what he can bring to the table. It's not necessary in the name. Yes, his name is big because of what he can bring, not because of his name.
That's why I said that. The reason why
his name is only his name because of what he can bring to the table.
Okay.
If he didn't bring anything to the table, his name means nothing.
But if he didn't bring his name, it would be nothing to do with
Kevin Hart. His name is his resume. He mentioned his name to me. Now, this is how I see it. He mentioned his name to say, hey, at this point, he can pretty much pick up the phone and say, hey, Kevin Hart would like to speak to you about this upcoming role or movie or doing a comedy special, and he can get part, most likely. Or he can get this. He's saying, even though I'm Kevin Hart, I don't have an ego that I won't work with this person, that person, and we all eat and grow together. So because of my name, my ego isn't big. I've got one because I've seen
it. No, he didn't say it that way.
His ego has come out.
I'm not talking about that point.
Okay, but that's what I was saying. I mean, to me, he named you to say, because of my name, I could have an ego and I could be big-headed and just make money for myself and my production company. But I don't mind going together with other people. I know he would work with what's his name, the other comedian that we talked about.
And I like what Drunt said. Drunt says a thin line between confidence and ego.
Without a doubt,
it is a thin line. So, yeah, it's the in between. So, and that in between is a thin line or whatnot.
That's why the ego is the mediator between that thin line. So you automatically can have that ego. So basically, what I'm trying to the whole thing about anything I ever say is we all have these qualities: negative, positive, fucking up, doing all types of shit. Growing, enhancing, going downhill, whatever. It is control. It's controlling you. You control your ego, and nobody would say. Everybody wouldn't mind your ego. You ain't got an ego, but you know what? He's humbled about his shit. He knows he's Kevin Hart, but Kevin Hart don't mind working with anybody because his ego isn't too overboard of who he is.
Right.
So that's
and I'm not gonna say with anybody that
but the smart thing is not to work with just anybody, because if he would just be like, hey, Cat Williams, let's work together. If he wasn't thinking about it, Cat Williams will fuck up the whole thing because of his ego. Because Cat Williams, the way he controls his ego, which is not controlled.
As far as we can see.
Oh,
Cat Williams might be on a whole different level.
As far as we can see, because we don't really know. We don't know that Kevin Hart is the way he really is. You know, just because of what he say and because he smiled.
But that's all we have to go on.
Be the ones that be.
That's all we have to go on.
Would you talk about a shirt that you never see me wear before?
Say it again.
Would you talk about a shirt you never see me wear before? But I've worn it.
No. He's good at putting blinders on.
I wear a certain shirt.
What makes you say that
I wear a certain shirt in public, so that's all you can talk about,
right?
Because that's all you see is this shirt. So
now,
we're not going to go into Dreamland and try to imagine what he does in his home. We're going to talk about what we see. And what
we do know this.
No, but we can't think this man is so perfect though. Like I don't think anybody, man.
Here's another thing, Mr. Manhood. What we're not going to do is put words we never said in anybody's mouth. Nobody used the word perfect at all.
No, not at all.
So I got to ask a question.
We talk, we don't talk like anybody's perfect around here.
Right.
Could Cat Williams actually be the villain in these narratives? Because is it possible Cat doesn't negotiate? I'm just asking. Could it be that he doesn't? He's just like, I'm not gonna pussyfoot around situations or the space, because if he was doing what he was supposed to be doing, following the status quo or being agreeable, come on now, Cat would be huge.
Well, no,
Cat would be huge right now.
Well, that's true, but now maybe he, like you said, it might not be ego. It might just be his confidence to do it the way he wants to do it.
That's what I was gonna say. Houston. I was like, he does have an ego, but he does make it his way.
Right.
Yeah, he makes it hard for people to fuck with him.
I guess what we're talking about.
So
it's like Drunk is saying, like, people got different personalities. Cat got his own personality. Kevin got his own personality. If you don't, it's like we have our own personality. It's gonna be more people that's gonna like you, Jim, than me because of my personality. There's gonna be more people that, vice versa. It's like,
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? It's like people got different personalities. Maybe he just want to get his bag and let it be. You know.
I get it.
Right. So,
Stephen, hush, Stephen.
With that ego,
Stephen, comment. Anyway,
I was just about to say that you take 6 months.
For last time. Actually, it take me a while to find shades. If I go out and look for shades, it take me about 6 months to a year.
What?
But anyway, that's something else. I like another comment that Drunk said.
Some chips.
No, that's because I like when I make a decision, I know it's the right decision that I made for me.
Where you are?
That's because your ego.
But Drunk made a comment. Drunk made a comment. It said, I feel like confidence is saying I have the ability to be the best. Ego is saying I am the best. What y'all think about that?
I don't know how long it took you to write that, but I come up with that. That makes a lot of sense.
I feel like confidence is saying I have the ability to be the best. Ego saying I am the best.
I'm going to say this straight up.
Who said that? Who made that statement?
Hold on. Drunk is 30 years old.
Drunk.
I got to go get a thing for my bed. I haven't slept on my bed yet.
7.
He's still on the place.
Oh, shit.
7. What do you mean you ain't slept on your bed, 7? What are you talking about over there?
I kept trying to call your name. Can't want you to say that now the way.
Your conversation just took over. You just took over.
Yeah, mute is about to be on again.
There you go.
AK Boogie, I don't give a damn. She said everyone in the panel more than you, unapologetic.
Now, Eric, what was the statement
sir.
that the guy made about confidence and ego? Do you remember what it was?
It says, I feel like confidence is saying I have the ability to be the best, and ego is saying I am the best. Or if I was to say, ego is saying I am better than everybody else.
Okay, Drunk, you need to put that on a shirt.
Yeah, like I was saying, you remind me. Drunk is 30 years old, right? Drunk, we don't know who Drunk is. He's been popping in all the comments, and he has all the illest shit to say. He drops nothing but motherfucking gems, even in the sports gems.
But that's what's good. I mean, that's why these shows are good, because men, we bounce off of each other.
But what if you are the best? Is that ego?
That's ego when you try to express it to everyone else.
When you're in a competition, then there has to be the best. But when you are amongst great other players or great other leaders, I think you should comment that I'm one of the best here.
So when ego
in a competition
is far left in the negative area, that's when you go social with it.
What's that now?
What do you mean by that?
Yeah. All right, so you can be as cocky as you want and have all the confidence in the world knowing you're the best. If you keep it to yourself, nobody else knows. And nobody will know what type of ego you have, right? But until you start expressing your ego out in social life, that's when it becomes really an ego, right?
It depends on. It still got positive and negative. It depends on how you use your ego as confidence, or you use it as to criticize.
But you would have to show criticism.
And knowing when to use it, right?
Yeah, but you would have to show criticism. You would have to act outside of yourself, so somebody knows you have a fucked up ego, right?
I would say yes.
Ego is not really.
So, ego only exists if it's social.
I disagree with that.
No, I'm asking.
No, because there's some people that have an ego and they don't really express it or say it, but you know it by the way they carry themselves.
Okay.
You know,
how would you know how they carry themselves?
People, so that's a true factor, and that can be the case. But I've seen people that I'm like, he got an ego and a half by the way he carried himself. He ain't gonna say it out of his mouth.
But did it affect you negatively?
I can't say that someone's ego always going to affect me negatively.
All right, so that's what I'm saying. When does ego when it goes left, it's socially? Because if he's got an ego that doesn't affect you negatively,
so I've been in a room with professional athletes, as we all have. There have been times where I've been around athletes who are just confident and humble.
Right.
Other times I'm around athletes that are just, their ego is bigger than their salary. But then the thing that I've learned that I value the most, I've been in a room where a man and a woman walks in the room, everyone turns and looks at them, including me. And it's not ego that's walking in the room.
Confidence.
It's the stature. It's the stature in which you carry yourself.
It's confident. Exactly. Respectful, not trying to bring attention to themselves, but they walk in with it.
And I'm gonna tell you, a lot of times you catch someone that has negative ego side, as you mentioned, you're in a room with players. When somebody can share information on how you can get better, how you can make more money, how you can become a better person, how you can become a better player, whatever case may be, that's sharing information, meaning I don't just want it for myself, but sometimes people ego that is such critical and negative and narrow-minded, meaning I'm not going to let nobody have this information that I have. I'm not going to share it with no one because I want to be the best. I want to be the person that shine in the light.
Well, let me reverse that. Let me reverse that and show you how that turns into a negative too. Look, listen to what I'm telling you. I've made over $100 million or $100,000 in the last year. I have a way of doing this way. So what you're trying to do is not gonna work. Let me show you this. Let me do this. I've got experience. Now that ego, he's trying to share, but
That's
his ego
positive.
is too much.
Right.
You know. So it's a balance in that, in everything that we do. And there are times that we always gonna have an ego that might be in a bad way because we might be in a relationship.
Nope.
And instead of being comfortable
I
with
kind of
trying to
disagree
share
with
her,
So
we might
wait,
want to
so are we mixing? So we're mixing up the words because I just looked up some drunk his motherfucking ass. So we're saying ego, right? Without adding nothing to it. Ego exists. So we're talking about the negative part of it. So wouldn't that be egotistical?
So this is the thing I like about people with a fucked up ego. And I'm gonna be out of pocket and be out of character. I'm not gonna say the name, but there was a group that came to town, very well-known rap group. I respect the dude. I like him. I like the squad that they was with. But somebody's ego, because they're so beautiful, comes and says everybody's giving me compliments, and somebody wants to talk to me. I'm just showing you how ego works against me. I took her to the dude, gave him a dap, said what's up, asked him what he was drinking, bought him one, gave her a bottle of wine, and told her to have a seat and hang out with him, and walked away. For me, that was dealing with you feeling yourself too much. Just because somebody done rode into town, he feeling you not smart enough to realize you the next piece of, you know what I mean, in line. So what I learned from that, whenever I'm around professionals, and the one person that I can say that I will respect to this day, and I'm saying all that to say this is, I saw Ice Cube backstage, cool as a fan, looked you straight in your face, said what's up, how's it going, kept it moving.
Right, drunk.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So that I like, but when I'm around people who are inflated or people superficial trying to be something, even if they got their revenue behind them, you can have 400 million in the bank, but still be a 15-cent motherfucker. As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? But I also like it when people check their own circle. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that that's the thing we have amongst people of color. We have this thing where, I don't know if we don't call it ego, but persona. We have this persona. I'm a rapper. Everybody likes me. I got to act a certain way. But then you have other people like, I'm an artist. This is authentic. This is real to me. This is what I do. And I think that us as people, and this is fucked up to say about our people, but only thing we got to look to or even to compare ourselves with are athletes and musicians and comedians. So is it all ego or is it programming at the same time? Because negative ego for me, I gives two fucks.
Right.
But we worship our entertainers, even not just even black people. This is American thing. We worship our entertainers. We worship our.
But do our entertainers? But I'm just asking this because Lady Gaga is an exceptional to what I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it comes through our hood, and I mean just generally through our culture. How does it live?
Seriously. Yeah, it does live in our culture because we live by materialistic stuff. So we definitely comfortable with materialistic things, while other people that will come out of nowhere come to this country, and while we trying to make our bank accounts as less as possible, that other community that's coming to this country. They get a Toyota Corolla and they making them $200,000-$300,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so I get what you're saying. We live by
born with that ego. We're born with the ego.
That's another. Each and every one of you. I want to know something. If the black man, we're just gonna keep it that way. The black man did not exploit his ego in a negative manner How do you think life will be right now?
In America?
So easy.
Only in America. Only in America.
It'd be easy.
Do you think we would have power?
Huh?
Do you think we would have power?
We would have real power.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw this in the pool. You can go see it.
Take Martin Luther King for example.
Hold on a second. Hold on. What are you saying about Martin Luther King? No, Martin Luther King. You said something about Tank?
No, I was saying Tank was on the show, and Tank said something to the point was he could sing the same song Sam Smith was singing. He says, but he wouldn't get any radio play. Sam Smith will get radio play. He says, and they said, why? He says, what do they fear? He says, they fear our love. They don't fear our violence. They fear our love.
See, but they can control the violence.
But come on. But what he said was so powerful because he's like, I have nothing against Sam Smith. I like Sam Smith, but they put Sam Smith in a spot to push him. But if Tank was to sing the same songs, he would not get radio play because they don't want to hear us talking about love or being in our peace, in our kindness. They fear it.
Power.
Well,
that's our power.
Well, is it because they fear it or because people aren't buying it?
Come on, think about that. Let's just be honest. Boys to Man sings love songs.
That was it back in the 90s. I'm talking about
exactly.
Now. Yeah, back in the 90s, yeah. But now, because of the way these kids are, the way the music that they buy, when someone comes out with an R&B and a song, there's a lot of great singers out here. But that's not what people are buying or they're playing on the radio. But Sam, like you said, the Sam guy, they could play him on either station and they're going to get airplay.
But if you play Kim, what type of image are you giving? If you're playing Music Soul Child, what type of image are you giving? If you're playing Brian McKnight, like if you're playing, or if you got positive artists and they're getting radio station, you know what I mean? But the thing is, when he said that, that humbled me. Like it really made me think about me as a man. And it was like, yo, it's true. Because if I'm out in the street and a little kid's acting up to his mom, I'll look at the little kid and be like, hey, mind your mom. What does the kid immediately do?
Right.
The kid freaks out and goes, ooh, okay. You know what I mean? The mom freaks out and she looks at me like, who do you think you are? But she's like, oh, now you listen. You feel what I'm saying? Right. Or if you open the door for people, you know what I mean? In the restaurant or coming in and out, they look at you and they're like, whoa. They get it confused from the narrative that they see on TV or in the media. So I don't know how that would be. I don't know how that would play out. If we can walk out without egos and be honorable, not even honorable, just be respectful men to each other. I don't know what would happen.
Well, why are we waiting on?
I think the world would be totally different. Totally different.
I don't understand.
But it depends on if we all do it at once. That's when it would make sense.
Yeah,
if we wait, which we're gonna have to do regardless because of the way people are. But if we go it's slow, they'll find out a way, just like always, to take away our unity and figure another way to fuck us up long term. This is exactly what it was. Our power is unity. Our power is love, unity, togetherness, family, community. And I'm just gonna say, put that in the black community. That's our biggest power. Is togetherness.
Yeah, I'm gonna assassinate his name. Kamajusu. I don't know his name, but he's from Africa, and he said it's very interesting. He says what the black man in America doesn't realize is the African in Africa looks at the black man in America and wonder when is he going to be himself. And they said if we decided to be ourselves, Africa would never be the same. Nor would Europe, nor would even Asia ever be the same. And the only country that would have the biggest problem with it would be China. He said because it would change the landscape with how people deal with aggression.
Right.
People would have no choice but to have peace.
Mm-hmm.
You know, God even said do everything in love. When you do things in love, your ego is controlled. It leaves no room for, you know, who's better than who. It's loving the person for who they are and what they can bring to the table. So do everything in love. Your ego will stay under control in a positive light.
Yes, I agree. But then we're looking at it from a relationship with faith, not a relationship with the world.
Yep.
I think if everybody had a relationship with themselves in a positive manner, you would have no choice but to do so.
Yeah, to be at peace with yourself.
Everybody's always worried, because I see too many people worried about other people all the fucking time. Everybody's always worried about other people. They don't matter. They don't exist until you make them exist. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to. The first person that matters the most is you. We can't have these conversations if I didn't take care of me. We wouldn't be able to do nothing or keep money in our household or take care of kids, have a conversation with anybody if I didn't take care of me. So that's what people understand. If you need to love yourself before you love anyone. Anyone. You know what I'm saying? You won't even know how to love if you don't love yourself. How do you say if you didn't love, how you showing so much love to somebody, right? And you don't love yourself the same way you can show your love. You're a false individual. I don't ever think that you're not showing even the proper type of love if you don't know how to love yourself.
But go back to what we said about the gentleman who got shot for defending himself with shot.
Crazy.
We live in a time, and I think it's hard for, and I had to learn this for myself, a lesson. We walk 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in this scale, in this avatar, in this black skin. We walk this earth 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We walk out our homes. We already know what we're risking. And we know what our hope is. We know what our expectation is. We know how to manage our anxiety. We know how to drive. We know how to turn our music down when the police officer is next to us, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But if you introduce the concept, and I still do it, don't get me wrong. I did it when I worked at the youth services. When you introduce the concept love, that freaks young black men the fuck out. Because they're saying, what are you talking about love? They're like, nobody loves me. Love is weak. Love is like, they have an idea that's so warped about the idea, the concept of love. And the first thing you'll hear them say is, nobody loves me. So, I mean, for us to even say that, we would have to have a conversation, not just amongst us about loving ourselves and the action of doing it, but we'd have to transmit that to.
I just feel like it's no. They know that they say that, and they say these type of statements even when we was growing up, because a lot of us don't have no real order in our families. We don't have that order, that father. That, you know, both my sons, I got a 22-year-old and a 3-year-old, and I'll be the first one to be like, love you, boy. My 22-year-old son, since he was yay high, love you, boy, kiss him on the forehead, everything, stuff like that. See, you know, it's typical. They don't know that structure because it's a falsehood all in all our homes that be thinking, okay, we supposed to be this and that. The rappers teach us, the rappers and the street dudes are our so-called fathers, and you know what I'm saying, and that's the problem. You know, you got a real man in your household that's not afraid to show his compassion and stuff like that. That's real mannerisms of a man. That's real like masculinity. You know,
but so it's not in the home. How do we translate it?
How do we translate it within the home, or
how do we disseminate it to other?
If it's not in the home.
If it's not in the home. Because I like what you're saying, but I want to figure out what I need to do tomorrow to disseminate it, or tonight when I see another young man mean mugging. How do I disseminate loving himself?
Like real talk, a lot of us are far gone
I would start with a smile.
Yeah.
You don't know how. Listen, you don't know how far you go. I'm like, how else you going up to a person with a mean mug? You never know what it is.
Yeah.
People usually change with a smile. If they don't,
yeah.
I already put the word out there.
Do what salesmen do. Salesmen relate to what they have, what you have on, or
Nice
something
jacket.
about you. They relate to create a conversation, and that kind of puts that person at ease. When it puts that person at ease, now you are able to talk to them on a different level.
Create to relate. Y'all want to do shirts? Create to relate.
Yeah, that's a very good way of looking at it, because I've done that. When I've seen the cat, he's looking a little weird. I'm like, oh, them shoes are kind of nice right there. Hey, appreciate it. That kind of opened up the door for a minute.
Oh yeah,
so we've got to find a way to kind of relate with them, and then keep it moving. And we ain't got to hold a whole hour conversation. It's just letting them know that we're trying to just be a decent person.
No.
What
just plant a seed. Just plant a seed and look for them later on. Plant a seed and watch it grow.
Eric, you just reminded me.
You don't have to tell it all at one time.
Right. Indirect.
Did y'all hear me?
No.
Say again.
You can hear me?
I didn't hear what you said.
No. I was just going to Eric. I love the affirmations, man. I look for my affirmations, and you just completed one for today. I always each day I like to know that I'm still on the same path. 11:11, when I look at the phone, it shows me that. When you said the seed, plant the seed, that is my everyday word. I have to plant the seed. You know what I'm saying? It's like life is planting seed and watching it grow. That's all through life.
Right.
So if you apply certain situations to that, like you said, the guy mean mugging, you create to relate. If you want to get through to that guy, you create a situation with that person in relation with them, and he'll understand, which will lower his guard, and he'll able to explain something to that person.
Right.
You would have to have that heart, though.
Right. I mean,
Steve said, "My smile is trash."
It is, but you know what?
He said, "My smile is trash."
You gotta see him smile. What they said, they're so caught up to think the reality to tell them it's another way is like speaking Chinese.
That's true, but you know what? You're not going to win every case. But if we continue to do what we're doing, find something to relate, speak to somebody, smile at somebody. I have examples of a guy coming out the door behind me. He's mean mugging, and I'm like, yo, I got the door, and I held it long enough for him to come through. He's like, yo, appreciate it. I'm like, no doubt. I see his whole posture change, just from a simple speaking or holding the door, or, oh, I got that. Little simple stuff makes people understand. Some people keep that demeanor because they were brought up with it. Hey, you got to keep that mean face in the street. Hey, you can't let nobody do that street around here. So until they see that you're okay, it's like two lions that meet each other. Everybody trying to stand their ground and be mean until somebody kind of, relaxes that a little bit.
That's facts.
Yeah.
I got a story when I moved down to Raleigh. Like, I'm used to fast paced down here in Connecticut. I'm used to, you try to say what's up to somebody, looking at you like, why are you talking to me? Which I didn't even say nothing to you, bro. I was just waving. You know what I'm saying? You can at least nod your head. This is where we live here in Connecticut. When I moved to Raleigh, I was so on cautious. You know what I mean? Because I don't know the people, and I was still going off the mentality of people ain't even nice around here. For no fucking reason whatsoever, they're not nice. You know what I mean? So one dude tried to talk to me, and I'm on the fence like, you want to fight? And he's like, no, brother, I just want to talk to you. You know what I mean? It's a nice day outside. And I'm still looking at him like, who the fuck just want to talk to somebody?
Right.
Because it's a nice day
because
outside.
of the way you were brought up.
Right. So I walked to the dance floor. He, the whole time, great conversation with the man. Ended up finding a pool player to play against later on in the day. You know what I mean? And it's like, when I went up there, the whole atmosphere is different. It's people, like, they love to love. They love to show you some love. Even if they're a gangster, they still be like, hey, cuz, you know what I mean? I don't know you, not from around here. Yo, I like your sneakers. Cool. All right. They show you love no matter what. You know what I'm saying? I like your accent. You know what I mean? Around here, you don't get that shit.
One of the greatest one of the greatest image to have is not knowing how many people you have touched throughout.
Oh, without
what
a doubt.
I mean by that, by the way you carry yourself. If I take it back to church, if you can count how many people that you won to Christ, you ain't did enough.
Right.
But by the way you carry yourself and the light that you have, sometimes you're able to cause other people in darkness light to shine. And I guess it's the right time to say this, because I like to keep things to myself at times. For my birthday, I like being a blessing to other people. So I go out and I look to be a blessing. And at times I look to, go in the store and pay for somebody groceries, go to a superstore and pay for all their clothes, whatever case may be. God said, I was going to Walmart, and God said, go over there to that gas station, get some gas first. Soon, before I got out of the car, somebody said, hey, so you got a clothes hanger in your car? I said, no, but I do have. He said, because this lady right here locked her keys in the car. So what did I do? I took my tools out that's able to help somebody get in the car, and I got in her car. Before I turned around and put gas in my car, it was a lady behind me. Sir, do you have a tool to take the tires off with? Because my tire is flat. I had on white shorts, white shoes. I stood right there until I helped the lady. I couldn't get the nuts off because I needed the proper tool, so I went to Walmart and I bought the tool. While I was at Walmart, I helped another lady. I came back to the gas station, helped the lady take her tire off. Her spare tire was kind of flat. I took her to Walmart and bought her a new tire because her tire was no good. And I said, and she was emotional on how she lost her job. You never know what people are going through.
Right.
Sometimes it's just being kind and just being just smiling. The lady, she was going through so much. She quit her job because somebody was sleeping with her girlfriend. I didn't judge her because she was a lady and had another girl. I didn't judge her. She had a 14-year-old that she couldn't provide. They was behind on bills. So I knew if they behind on bills, they didn't have much food in the home. So while I was getting her tire changed, I said, I tell you what, go get your grocery cart and get as many groceries as you can. And that's what she did. So I felt like God put me in one spot for me to help 3 people that day. And I said, don't worry about how much it is, just fill your cart up. So it's about how you present yourself and relate to people and just being kind. Just being kind.
Yeah. And it starts with a smile. When you mention that, sometimes you just got to start with a smile or speak to somebody like, yo, what's up? That's a nice ride, man.
Yep.
Simple stuff.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
This is why I'm moving my family to the South. I love you guys.
Come on now. But you know what?
Yeah.
But you know what? You said a mouthful.
I'm
going to say this because you said a mouthful when you said that.
Say it again.
Bro?
I didn't want to jump on anybody. Savage.
Oh no.
K Boogie, I'll be there. K Boogie.
Oh, all I was trying to say was the fact of you being a man enough to say that's why I want to come down south and be so and so and so, and I love you guys. That simple stuff makes a difference. Just that simple stuff makes a difference, and that's the kind of the meetings like we're having now is the same way. I said, you know what, we can make a difference in another dude's life when we speak to him, and then we get to know him a little bit and find out he ain't seen his kids or he ain't spending time. Yo, it might be tough, but let's figure out how to get your kids. It goes from one thing to another. How you spend time to go see your kids. How you go, you need a ride to get there. Let's go do that.
It's a network, man. We're building a network here.
And that's how we grow. When we network, we grow. Then I'm gonna find somebody that know how to work on a Mercedes instead of me going to the dealership.
And you know what? Let me put something into context.
I agree.
That goes to the subject. Say we having these meetings, right? We reaching out to people. We meet 2 great mechanics, right? 2 great mechanics. We want everybody to work together. What needs to be taken out of those 2 great mechanics for them to build a business together, so all of us can have work or have a mechanic to go to, or learn about cars? What has to be out of that situation?
Now you tell me that because I'm
ego. The ego.
I was gonna say that because you went with it. Yeah. When you take your ego out, the door opens to a lot of other things.
And that's what that's
all Kevin Hart was trying to say.
Right. And you know what we need to start doing? Actually, I want to talk with y'all offline, because this right here is supposed to be the beginning of a community, right? Build. And with a structure, with building, with people who are coming together to help other people, we should have laws. We should have rules of engagement when we go out and do our thing. So I'm thinking, as men, we have to come up with a code to live by, so we know that we're on the right path. So we can even check each other. Like, listen, this is not this is on our rule list. We got to go out there and do our thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? We got to stick to this code.
Right. I think that comes in time. Yeah, you build this.
Something to put up there, because something to think about.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh, let me comment something real quick. Somebody, why he went? Somebody, he went and changed shirts. Look, my wife called while I was on this phone, and she wanted me to meet some of her coworkers in Indianapolis while they were on video. So I said, Lord, let me go put something on. I'll be back. So that's all. But hey, y'all keep it going, man. I'm gonna slide out of here, but y'all keep this conversation.
Salute, brother. I appreciate you.
Hey, no problem. Nathan, hey, good meeting everybody, and hit me up whenever you need me.
No doubt.
If you need some money, you better call somebody else. But call me if you just need to talk.
All right, brother. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, did we look? No, we're just losing. Okay. So yeah, man. So like I was saying, with the mechanics, we need to lose the ego out of most of the things we do in life. And the ego does stop people from working with each other, especially Black people, in which we know that our biggest power is unity. Our biggest power is unity. Imagine this, and I keep coming into this one situation because I think this will change the whole fucking world. One step to take, one first huge blow to the world to show them we're fucking serious is every single ethnic Black person stop buying shit that's not in your race. That's all I'm gonna say. Black people, stop buying for such. Them niggas don't care about you personally. I know it's tough to invest in Black businesses, but that's just something I need to say. It is, but we need to build something like that. But if we just stop buying for a whole year, stop buying other people's shit, and start making your own shit.
But I like white shoes. I like white shoes.
Huh?
I like white shoes.
To make your own.
I like white shoes.
Make your own. Or find somebody that look like you to make the shoes for you. Somebody who we can build off or build with to create our own money. Why can't we look at something green in our hand, even though like the dollars and all that is going away? But why can't we have a Black person on a bill? Why can't we even have a name on something that owns almost everything, half of the world? Like, why are we not in that position? Why is that? We have a company that rock them fellas then. we just as equal, have the same amount of money. Why are we not, as godly as we are, why are we not up there in financial status and in this worldly status as what we know we are?
I think you just hit the nail on the head. As godly as we are, we keep trying to be equal with the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the problem with that is we live in this country. I'm assuming blindly every last one of us were born in this country. So they're the optics and they're the politics. Now, I think what's more powerful and more meaningful to it goes back to what you said. We need to have some bylaws. I've always said we need to have our own tribunals in our own communities. That doesn't mean when the police needs to be called, they're not called, but we're taking care of things in our community. That means little Johnny, who's brilliant, we know, but everybody else on the street trying to pull him into the streets, we know to be like, yo, hands off little Johnny. And I think the thing is, I don't think it's so much about worrying about having money as well as it is to creating wealth. So what I love about what Eric has said, he's like, I did these things naturally because I wanted to do them. I did it behind the camera. So for me, this year, December 19th, I do the same thing. I cook my favorite food, everything. And my goal is to go out and just give it to people. Like, just give it to people who just sit with them and eat with them. And that's what I love about the way we do things. We do things with so much love and so much sincerity that we don't need an Instagram or TikTok check-in. We just do it just because of who we are and how we move. So we have to really look at that and just say, how can you put God or people of faith in a race to build equality in a world that doesn't have or believe in God?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
We need to make our own world within the world.
Yeah.
It's the only way we're gonna work.
Well,
you see
anything that's of the world is against God. I can tell you that.
Everything what?
Anything that is relating to the world is against God. You understand what I mean by that?
I wouldn't mind.
I definitely
That's
understand.
like, this is the most amazing video we've seen on StreamYard in 2022.
Right. Explain that to me, Eve.
When you're doing, God said we're born into a sinful world. So God already knew that the world is going to try to be persuasive, because the devil it's like a snake, just as slick as can be. That's really why money, the love of money, is the root of all evil. It's because everything is associated with money. But when you start living the spiritual way that God wants to live, as far as love, he tells, give away everything that you possess, and I'll give you houses and lands. I'll make sure your children are living a wealthy life. That's because no one wants to get rid of material, the money that they have. It's all about money, love of money. And that's what's creating a lot of evil. But when we take ourselves out of that and put ourselves in the mindset of love, peace, joy, kindness, none of those things associate with money. It's just your heart, on what your heart. Now, money goes along with follow your heart and the love that you have, because you want to help somebody. But money is not leading the way. Your heart is leading the way. So that's why God said, if you take yourself, if you associate yourself with the world, that means you're competing. You're competing, and you'll do whatever to criticize somebody, to judge somebody, to put somebody down, because that's what the world wants you to do. The world wants you to talk about that person. The world wants you to have a big ego to be against that person. God said, no. It's okay to have what you got. Don't associate yourself with what the world wants you to do. Associate yourself with what I want you to do.
In the world.
In the world. Now, yes, we are in the world, but not.
But he's associated us to do what he wants us to do in this world, because that's where we are.
Right. Spiritually.
Spiritually.
Because if we do things fleshly led, we're gonna miss the mark.
But there's a question. There's a question on the board again. Is this question on the board again? You said spiritually led. We all have different spiritual beliefs. So as long as you follow that guide, so your belief, it'll be all right.
What's mostly associated with spiritual in the good sense is love, right?
Yep.
Regardless of your higher power, it should associate with love, right? Yep. So I'm not knocking people that have different spiritual power or whatever, guidance or whatever case may be. But it all should fall underneath the umbrella of how to love somebody, how to treat somebody with respect, how to be kind, and things of that nature.
So I agree with that.
And Drunk said, money is creation of man. Love is a creation from God.
Money is, I don't think money is the root of all evil. People.
The love of money is the root of all evil. The love of money. Yeah. Meaning people kill people over 50 cents. Man, you owe me $1. No, I don't. You're going to give me my $1. Oh, yes, you are. Don't owe you no $1. Pow, pow, pow. People would kill over $1.
People kill over egos.
Yeah.
True indeed. Well, gentlemen, we're about to get at the 2 hour mark. What I am going to say is this, though. If you want to continue talking and chopping it up, I am opening up another show at 10 o'clock, which is Scum TV, something new. Scum TV is coming as reaction videos. It's an open panel for everybody to come up anytime they want to, chop it up. If you want to talk about something else, we can switch it up. But it's an open panel for anybody to come up and release. All right.
Appreciate you, fellas. I was eating. I couldn't do that on the camera.
Yeah, it's all good, man. As long as we listening and having a conversation and doing what we got to do, that's all it is.
Jim was doing it on the camera. Jim was eating on camera, so you had to.
Oh yeah, I'm always gonna eat on camera.
You could have ate on the camera. If the host is eating, hey, this is natural, man. Be in your natural zone.
Yeah, be in natural being, man. Shit.
I got you.
I got my shirt on.
I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat on screen.
Dog food, bro? What the fuck is that?
No, man. It's good food.
Look like dog treats, man. Look at that. Oh, okay.
And we appreciate everybody that was commenting and all that. So
give a shout out to the chat. Chat Lives Matter.
Yes,
Chat Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Appreciate all y'all for coming in. Tell a friend and come back again. You know what I mean? And everybody, salute. We got work to do. Let's stay positive.
Peace.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all be good now.
All right.
All right.
You love.
This is what we do. We podcasters. We podcasters. Like I said, Savage Sports, this is what we do. We at Showtime.
Yep.
Did I not give him props? Maybe 4, 5. Exactly. Okay. So that's why you're on mute. Right now because you're not listening. Like I said, we out. See y'all tomorrow. But we in there.